I know, and you know what? I'm just glad that I'm persistent, and I'm glad that how you are as far as being persistent, but like 10 times fold, because you don't play about that life either. Because if not, I would have been like, I'm not doing this. I would have been like, bump this junk. I'm not doing this. I quit. And you know that.
It's on
You
your
know
page.
what?
You're the
enemy and the enemy in warfare has been like really real.
Wait one second. Listen, we live, y'all. We on Catrice's page. Everybody go to Catrice's page on your device. Let me press mute over here. And then I want Naima to say what you want to say. Say what you want to say, Naima, real quick. And then we finna introduce, baby. We is on this thing, baby. We doing this thing, baby, tonight. Naima, what you want to say, baby, real quick? You got 2 seconds.
No, I was just saying that the enemy has been really, really in attack mode. And I was literally at Freedom Friday prayer from 7 to 7:49 p.m. I left prayer at 7:49 so that I could get in my car to try to connect on time. So yeah, the enemy is mad because I got on my fist and my fingers of war and warfare.
See? And then she didn't have to, I told her not to leave early. Okay. Catrice on your other device, share it, girl, because over my side it's just
I just had to close everything.
Okay, when you bring it back up, then you can share. Okay, we're gonna get started with this thing, baby, because we got 2 people here. Listen, these 2 people that's been rocking with us since 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Okay, we got some more people come in, baby, because you know what? It is Friday night and we feel all right. Hey, listen, baby. It's 9:38 Eastern Standard Time, and then you know what? 8:38 on the Central side. And you know what? We got Arizona people, the PT time. You know what I'm saying? So it's about 6:38 over there. So you know what? We doing this thing, baby. We doing this. Y'all see this beautiful woman right here with this blue on?
Who's singing?
Because there's a lot of beautiful women in here. So y'all see the one with the blue on right there? That's Catrice Diggs, baby. Ha! That's Catrice. That's my girl. We have to come through Zoom because we've been trying to go live since 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, guys. It is 9:38. I'm saying this to say this because I'm uploading this to YouTube after we're done. And so everybody in Zoom with us, press mute other than Catrice. Everybody press mute other than Catrice. So we don't have no background noise so people out there in the public. And if you have another device, please share and like as you come in to this platform. All right, so this is what we're doing tonight. Mother Catherine, can you please press mute for me, baby doll? Beautiful one.
I know. I was just getting ready to. I got you.
Okay. All right, beautiful one. That's our mama child. This is what I'm talking about right here. You show up and support your daughter, your son. You support your people. Support your children. What are y'all doing? This mother came out to support. She's proud. I'm proud. Honey, okay, let's get this thing rolling. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is what we're doing tonight, baby. Y'all want to know what we're doing? This is what we're doing. We are at the Authors Roundtable. Yeah, that's where we're at. We're at the Authors Roundtable. With your host, Tammy Marie. The book whisperer, they call me the book whisperer because, baby, I get it done. I'm a writer, an author consultant to consult others to write, to tell their stories from start to finish. I give you the blueprint. And this is one of my authors right here. Absolutely amazing. It was easy. It was easy to work with her because she did exactly what I told her to do. When she got stuck, baby, if you get a coaching once a week. When she got stuck, she pushed through. She got stuck a little bit, but she pushed through. She put that pen to paper and she did. And you can do it too. Tell your story because telling your story is healing. So every Friday night, regular time, meet us at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's regular time. Facebook been trying to fight us all night, so we just left Facebook and we came to Zoom, baby, to go to Facebook. But anyway, Catrice, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself? Give us a then after you give me an overview of just personal, like 2 minutes less, just a little overview of personal, and then I want you to give us a brief overview of your book and what inspired you to write your book.
Okay, I'm not sure if you guys can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, that's what's most important. All right, so My book is pretty much a memoir of my life's experiences from the time that I was about, from my childhood up until my adult age. And it covers most experiences that I've gone through, some good, some bad, understanding my purposes as a child and learning within my experiences from a child through an adult on how to overcome them and stay humble and pretty much sane at the same time. And throughout my life, understanding and realizing that the things that I've gone through, I needed to go through in order to be who I am today.
Okay, and what's the title of your book?
The title of my book is To Climb and Crown the Walls. I chose that title because we all face blockages. We all run into walls. And most of the time when we run into walls, we let the walls stop us. We don't try to get through them. We don't try to get around them. We just let them stop us right there. Feel like, okay, we are at this point where there's nothing that we can do. And even though we try to figure out what to do, we allow that wall to stop us. We figure out what to do. And then most of the time, we're still trying to figure out how to go around them once we figure out what to do. I haven't tried to ever go around, excuse my language. I've never tried to go around my blockages. I've always made sure that I accepted what I was experiencing. And once I experienced them and understood them, as far as I wouldn't let it stop me, I made sure that I understood what was happening. And once I understood what was happening, I moved forward and climbed up rather than taking that seems like longer route around. I rather move above what I was going through. And once I got to a certain point in my life, I realized that I needed to just accept everything that's happened to me as a part of me and crown the walls. If that makes any sense, as far as you not being able to understand it, book cover kind of helps you out with that.
Oh, she said the book cover kind of helps you out with that. Listen.
Visual.
I absolutely love it. I love the fact that she said, don't allow your blockages, which is your storm, things that comes your way to stop you. And she's, because you know what, that long route, we think we're going around something. We're trying to get away from our situation, away from our circumstances. And sometimes we don't even understand that God placed us in the wilderness. Sometimes it ain't the enemy that's attacking you, or because like my thing is, when Jesus went to the wilderness after he fasted for 40 days, who sent him there? The Spirit. It didn't say the enemy. Now the enemy attacked him when he got there. So that lets me know, don't take the easy way out, that we so-called easy way, trying to go around it, baby. No. Stack them bricks, baby, because you elevate when you stack. You ain't going nowhere when you're going around and around and around. I love that. That was good. That was real good. So can you share one of your, do you have your book with you?
Yeah.
I want you to share one of your poems with us, because I want this to set the, hey, whoever this is coming in.
Oh, that's Night.
Oh, okay. This is so awesome. This is so cute. I want you to share one of your poems with us, because this book is just beautiful literature. This is what this is all about. Sitting at the authors roundtable, sitting with these authors, listening to listen to their voice, their unique voices, telling their own personal story, going through their journey. And she decided to also just do poetry as well, telling her story and how she came through. Can you read one of your poems for us, please, Catrice?
Yeah, and I'm gonna just let y'all know right quick, right fast. So Tammy was like, your favorite poem. I'm like, what you mean, Tammy? They all my favorite poem. What you talking about? So that being said, I'm just gonna choose the first one, which isn't like it wasn't like one of my normal poems, it was more like a talk. Honestly, I wrote this when I was having a difficult time with my mom's at the first shelter that I worked in, because I realized how lost we were as a people when it comes to our specifically Black female community. So it's titled Let's Talk. And here we go. Life becomes hard, and at times it's understandable that some of us, instead of fighting and trying harder, would rather give up. Why? We feel as though happiness, success, and love, amongst other things, should be given to us or shouldn't be hard to obtain because we know someone, or maybe even a few, who did not have to go through the struggles that we have or may have go through. We begin to hate and deceive because of being unable to accept our own fate and destiny. We never stop to think about what we really want, only what's easiest to get. How far realistically will we get in life if we continue to believe that if we dream someone else's dream, we will be able to live the way that that person is living, happily? We rarely appreciate life. We should be fully grateful to be alive, well, and able to be a part of everyday being. We need to stop abusing our bodies with materialistic things and physical attractions. We need to realize that it is truly a blessing to be able to wake up and function. When will we take advantage of the access to the devices that we hold in our hands each day for beneficial awareness instead of likes, shares, and subscribes? When will we go for what we know and not just what we've been told? When will we realize that the same society and social media that's exploiting all of this glam and these empires are dropping the bucket compared to the value of our overflow, We are living in sad times behind those selfies. Meanwhile, our youth and even adults are unable to read, write, and spell. Families have no relationships, and children are twerking and cursing more than strippers and sailors. Let's talk about the lost morals of humans instead of how to proceed at a faster pace while going around in circles. Let's talk about accountability and oneness instead of making excuses, especially when we are living in a time, space, and age where we can find out practically anything in seconds with the tap of our finger or the click of a button.
Wow. Girl, I can't listen. Baby, all I can tell y'all is to pick up the book because it's so much.
That's just fun.
And that's just one poem. All I can tell you is to pick up the book. I mean, because baby, there was so much packed up into that. And if you want to pick up the book, I forgot that was on Facebook. Oh, I'll tell you, we're gonna get a chance to talk to her tomorrow, baby. Octavia says, I really appreciate your work and contribution to enlighten, encourage, and empower others as you let your light shine. That's beautiful. And we also have a book club where other inspired authors can come in to the book club that we come to once a month on Saturdays. We will be there this Saturday. It will be Catrice because she won the book club. Everybody voted for her to read her book. So we have a discussion on her book tomorrow morning, but really mid-afternoon at 12 o'clock. If you want to join, please let us know. Because baby, let me tell you something. That poem was so much packed into that poem. One thing you said is stop abusing yourself. We always beat up on ourselves, and then we ask ourselves, why is everybody beating up on us? So people are going to treat you how you treat yourself. How you treat yourself? Are you having self-love, self-doubt? So we have to start loving on ourselves so we can start receiving love. Some people don't even know how to receive love. Girl, it was just so much. Then you said, what we know, not what we are told. Have you ever just grown up in the church? You just going and going and going, and then you get a revelation when you start reading the word for yourself, baby. That's what you're talking about. Now you
and
know.
It hit different.
Now
it
you
hit
know
different.
the truth. You know what I'm saying? Walk in your truth and your authentic self. So now that you know yourself, walk that thing out. That was good, girl. I mean, it was just lost morals or girl, I can't even go. It was so much. That was beautiful. And that's just a tidbit. Okay. I want to ask you another question. Did you encounter any major obstacles or challenges while writing this book, and how did you overcome them?
Oh my gosh, yes. So, when I first, you told me to write a book. How many years ago, Tammy? Like 2 or 3 years ago. You was like, girl, you should write a book. And I'm like, I wanted to, but I ain't ready to write no book.
Yeah, I didn't know
So,
her, but let me say something real quick, Catrice.
uh-huh.
I did not know this woman. And y'all can just see now the discernment of like the beauty inside and out, her spirit. I saw this woman for the first, I was like, y'all, she's also an artist. She's an artist. She has all this creativity in her bones. Girl, go ahead. I'm gonna show y'all something. Go ahead, Catrice. I'm gonna get some. Go on, put your back. Go.
So anyway, yes, to answer your question, yes, I was able to start the book off with no issues. You know, I already had an idea of what I wanted to write about in regards to the love of life. Um, and to be honest with you, it took the love of life being attempted to be taken away from me to actually be like, okay, Tammy, look, I'm ready to write this book. And then I started writing the book, and then I got to the point where I had writer's block. Like I was like almost finished, and I'm just like, what's going on? This isn't making any sense to me. I was ready until I wasn't, you know. So like not midway, but maybe 3/4 of the way, once I started writing the book, I didn't know what to do. You know, everything that I had already had down on the papers and in the pen, it just got to the point where it was overwhelming. At the same time that it was a release, it was overwhelming because it was like the reality setting in. And it's like, okay, so what are you gonna do about it? Like, you know how you want to finish, but how do you finish that way when you still have all of these feelings and anger and animosity inside your body? And it took me about 2 months. And I laugh about this all the time. Tammy probably don't laugh because she was like, look, girl, I know you're going through something, but look, you got to get this done. But I'm just like, Tammy, I apologize, but like, I really have writer's block. And for me, that's odd, you know, because I love to write. I don't have a problem with writing. I can write anything in an instant, but I had to take my time with it, you know. So I ran into a block, and that was caused because it got to the point where I did release. And once I released it, it was a reality. And once it was reality, I had to face it. So it's like, hello, here you go. Take your time if you want to, but you better get this done. So I did run into a brief 2 months for me. That's a brief blockage or Satan trying to step in and have an effect on what was to come out of me. And honestly, even at the end of the book, I state that once I sat with myself and I forgave myself and I forgave everybody who has ever done anything to make me upset, uncomfortable, unhappy. And I apologize for any of you guys that are listening and watching right now, for anyone who has never said sorry or I apologize. I'm apologizing for them because everybody deserves that. And you guys need to forgive. So with that being said, I got to that point where I'm just like, you know better than to be mad. It ain't even, you don't have the right to be mad. You ain't perfect, because I did my dirt too, you know. I've done things I wasn't supposed to do too, regardless of what the situation was, and regardless of what it is I'm talking about in particular in the book. Everything I'm talking about as far as anything in the book. It doesn't matter. Anything that you do every day, don't judge. So once I got past that point, it's so funny because I was on a road trip with my mom, my Aunt Deborah, my Aunt Brenda, and my Uncle John. And there's this daggone park that was outside of his hotel. And we're asking him which way to go. And my aunt's driving. I'm in the back seat. And he was like, you got to take a left on Grace. And I'm just like, dang, that sounds cool. And my aunt was like, I love Grace. My Aunt Brenda, she was like, I love Grace. I was like, yeah, we do. He said, we love Grace. And I was like, yeah, we do. And when we made the left on Grace, I looked to the right. It's a whole gate there. Ain't nowhere to go. We ain't had no choice. So you always think that there's a right way. And honestly, there's a way that's better than another. There's never a right way. And that's why I ended my book that way, because it was like, that was my confirmation. Like, I was able to forgive and understand what I was going through and what I was experiencing and feeling. And it took those 4 people being in the car with me for me to understand and realize that it's like, all right, you could be mad all you want, but who are you? You don't have the right to be mad at yourself. You can't be mad at anybody else. You don't even belong to you, you know? You are a gift for everyone else around you. You have a purpose to serve for everyone else around you. Don't forget to take care of yourself, because that's important too. Because if you don't do that, what's the point? So when he said, take a left on Grace, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I was like, because there's no right way to go as far as where the end of the book came from. So yeah, I ran into that hump and it was not okay. Like it was rough. It was rough and it was triggering and I was lost all over again. It's so funny because my mom walked in the room one night. She's like, "You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." I was lying. I be lying, y'all.
I love how you said you ended it with left on grace because that's amazing. Left on grace, and then there was a gate. The girl, grace.
Like what? It was so surreal.
God
It was
gives
so
us
surreal.
so much grace and covers us. And then at them pearly gates, honey, there was a light. And you saw that light and you ran and you shine right through. Girl, you are a light. You are.
I'll take that. Because I didn't see a light, but if that's what you see and that's what you get from it, I'll take that because I was just like, seriously, you like I said, there's no right way to go. Even though there may be a better way to go, there's no right way to go. And we have to get to the point where we are able to speak to each other and respect each other enough to say that, to state that. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It's okay to say that. Nobody's perfect. Respect everybody for what they are and what they're going through because you're never going to be in somebody's head enough. Even if they're telling, I just told my mom 5 or 6 months ago, I'm good. I was lying. So it's like, you'll never know what's going on in somebody's head. You'll never know what's going on in somebody's head. Nobody would have ever known that knows me what I have been going through for the last 3 years because I carry it well. It ain't easy, but I carry it well.
Y'all remember I said she's creative? She actually did this for me. She painted this, y'all. This is not bought. This is a painting from her. Her hands
It's not
did
even
this.
a good one. I'm glad you love it though. I have so.
Well, you said you had writer's block, but the enemy was in the way.
Mm-hmm.
But who pushed him out the way? I did.
You ain't do it by yourself. I was here too.
Because baby, I'm telling you, once a week I shows up and they gonna have to be held. She's talking about accountability in that poem. Every week for your coaching, you got to show up for accountability with this as me as your coach. Because I'm a writing coach. I'm gonna push you through that thing. You gonna publish your story. You gonna tell your story. You ain't gonna let nothing stop you. Because at the end of the day, what's going on? Life every day.
So I'm gonna be honest for a minute. I'm gonna honestly tell y'all, like, there were days where Tammy be like, I know I had a call, but because I was going through what I was going through, I was like, I'm not calling her. I can't do Tammy tonight because Tammy ain't gonna try to hear what I'm saying. I ain't gonna try to hear what Tammy's saying. It's not gonna work. It was more like, okay, you know what you got to do? Call her next week. That week come, I'm like, you know what you got to do? Call her next week. And then Tammy's like, look, just like she did tonight. Look, girl, I ain't got time. Get off my phone. Why you asking me questions? You heard what I said. I said what I said. Well, I say it all the time, but yeah, I'll be messing with her. She be
girl, bye. Because I know y'all have it in y'all to do. I know your gifts. I know, and God knows your gifts, and He's pulling them out. And I'm discerning. I have a discerning spirit, and God assigns me to people. So I'm assigned to different people. I'm not for everybody. I'm assigned to who God assigns me to, and that's simple as that. And I want to ask you this: how would you describe your writing process and any unique approaches or techniques that you when you put pen to paper that you can tell people that they scared to write and I'm not a writer, they don't want to tell their stories? Give them an easy your process. Something just 2 minutes.
Sorry. I shook the. Why you say 2 minutes like that? I'm long-winded. So let me say this. I'm gonna try to stay under 2 minutes. Okay, start now. All right. So let me say this. When I started writing, it wasn't on my personal purpose. Let me just say that. It was on purpose because it's my purpose as far as that gift and that ability. But I started writing because I wanted to go to space camp, y'all. So I wrote this poem and it was bomb. Like, I would say it for y'all right now, but I'm not gonna do that to your life right now. So I wanted to go to space camp. I wrote this poem. I won. And then after that first phase, I had to do like a project and I won the second phase. And in the third phase, it was something else. I didn't win that part, but make a long story short, once I won that first poetry contest, I was able to write with no problems because the pressure was on me at that time and it was something that I wanted. And once I started going through hard times or if something was going on, I was able to just verbalize it in ways that I didn't even know I was able to do. My family wasn't, like nobody knew it until it actually happened. And it just became my thing. you know, a lot of times in families, it's like, okay, don't speak about it. My whole thing is, I like asking questions. I like answers. If I ain't gonna speak about it, what I'm gonna do? Oh, okay, write it down, especially after I wrote that poem. So for the most part, as far as a tip, if you want to become a writer and if you feel like that's a part of you, if you're feeling it, then it's you. If it's something that's going on, if you got that itch, do it because you have that feeling for a reason. And make sure that it's something that you can tap into as far as what you're personally going through, something that you personally are interested in, whether it be the bug on the ground or the cloud in the sky, whether it be the dirt on the wall or the soap in the sink. It doesn't matter what it is. If you love it and you want to write about it because it's going to flow. It's going to be more natural and it comes out so beautifully. I love everything.
She said, girl, bye. You don't even, Aaliyah Berry said, you don't even belong to you. You don't even belong to you, baby. That
I
girl,
say it
I
all
love
the
that.
time. I
That
say it
is
all the
so
time.
good.
You do
You
not
don't even
belong to you.
belong
You
to
don't.
you.
You don't even have the right to judge yourself. How dare you judge somebody else?
Because let me tell you something. If you judging yourself and you being ugly to yourself, that means you saying, God, you do a good job on me. I ain't gonna be questioning God about me now. But you said something real profound. You said your personal purpose. So let's get into this. In chapter 1, you have, it says focus, insight, purpose. Could you elaborate on the concept of purpose and how it plays a role in your book?
Oh my gosh. So when it comes to purpose and how it plays a role in my book, I am walking my purpose. I have always walked my purpose and I didn't realize it until I was maybe in my late 30s. I'm not going to say mid 30s. I'm going to say late 30s. As far as like asking myself, like, what are you doing? I'm gonna honestly tell you, don't talk about me saying I'm long-winded. So in 2014,
No, I'm
I
taking
believe it
notes.
was. Okay, so in 2014, my oldest aunt, her name is Sharon Simpson, and she invited me to a conference, and it is called what is the name of this conference? It's an awesome conference. I can't remember. I'll text her or ask her, and she'll probably knock me out for not remembering. But she invited me to this conference, and it was like the most beautiful Odyssey. Who said Odyssey? I'm Sharon. Hey, I'm Sharon. She said it was the Odyssey conference. So she invited me to the
We got our support group in here. We got our support group on the other side, y'all. Hello from the other side. Go ahead,
and
girl.
it's a beautiful thing. So she invited me to the Odyssey conference, and oh my gosh, Tammy, like you can't even imagine the experience in itself. It was beautiful. It was awesome. Yet it was things that I was doing with my job and my career as far as having access to people and taking classes and training. And I was able to get involved in things that I love. And I met a lot of people. It was awesome. Don't get me wrong. Probably the best experience I've had in my life as far as doing something outside of my career. But I guess based on where I was in life, I just wasn't getting a hump from it. You know, I wasn't getting that push and pull from it. And it could be my expectations as far as me wanting something more than what I got, even though it was, I can't even speak on how awesome it was. Yet at the same time, me personally, I was withdrawn. The people that were there were more corporate people and I'm more like laid back. And don't get me wrong, they were cool. But at the same time, that wasn't where I was at in life. So the night before the last night, I sat with my aunt. She said, "So how's it going?" I said, "It's going good, but I don't feel what I'm supposed to be getting out of this." And she just looked at me. I don't remember if we had a conversation after that, but she gave me that look, and I know that look. The very next night, I sat with this lady, and I'll probably post her pictures tomorrow because she changed my life forever. And her name was Miss Mary, and she was from Baltimore. No, she was from Boston, and she was just the old lady sitting there, and I sat with her and we just talked all night long. And then she told me who she was, and she was a child advocate for the city of Boston. She like passed all these laws and had all these different things come through for them, allow mothers to drop their kids off early, provide transportation, assistance, all these different things. And I said, you got to be kidding me. After I had this conversation with my aunt, this is what I'm feeling right now, and this is what I sit next to as far as God is always there. Like, okay, you think you didn't get something out of it. It ain't up to you to decide when it's time for you to get something out of anything. So she said to me, don't give up on them babies. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm telling you that I want to leave the child care atmosphere. And you're telling me not to give up on these babies. I don't know about this. Why are you telling me this? How about she was a speaker on the panel? 5 minutes later, she got up and sat up there and spoke for 30 minutes and told about all these things that she did. And it impacted me like big time, big time. And that was like a really, really big change in my life as far as if it's your purpose, don't run away from it. Because it doesn't matter if you run away from it or not, you're going to drive yourself crazy because it's going to come back to you regardless. I'm telling this person that's done all this stuff for these children in this whole other state that I don't want to do this, yet she was a vessel as far as God goes, telling me, forget what you're talking about. Go handle your business. And I've been on a totally different mission ever since.
Now, girl, you see what I tell you, when somebody's assigned to you, you have to learn how to sit still. That one was assigned to you.
She was, and I like her picture pops up every year on the date that I sat with her. Every year, the date that I sat with her at that conference, her picture pops up. And I've tried to find her. And I don't know where she is, but I hope I find her.
I'm telling you, God gonna bring y'all back together again. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you.
Some way.
Okay, in chapter 6, it's called Warm Soul Train. When you think about Soul Train, you think about dancing and all this kind of stuff like that. But
no, silly lady, it's not train, it's
girl,
rain.
I know that. It's called what?
I was saying anybody talking about no train, you talking about the rain.
Girl, I know this.
Okay, go ahead, finish. I'm gonna be quiet. See, that's how we drive each other crazy. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
I'm saying the title, when I read it, it intrigued me. Can you shed some light on the meaning behind this title?
Okay, so
and how
you
it
guys
relates
know
to your overall narrative.
Exactly. So you know I'm weird.
Since she wouldn't let me finish.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I apologize. So you know I'm gonna put a stamp on it. I don't mind my awkwardness, and I rather you ask me about my awkwardness and try and understand it for me to be able to explain it than like you just did. As far as okay, warm soul rain. What does that mean? Not warm soul rain. That don't make no sense. It makes sense. So listen. Warm Soul Rain, I titled that chapter that because the day of my dad's funeral, it was hot and my soul was torn. And as we were driving away after everything that had happened to us that morning, my brother and I and my sister and my mom, the family in general, it started to rain. And when it started to rain, my soul loosened up. It wasn't so torn anymore. It was like, it's going to be okay. You know, I will never forget that day. And then the song, it's just those rainy days. That song came on. So I'm just like, what are you doing? Why are you sobbing? You know, you can be upset and all that stuff, but you need to handle that, get over it because you got more to do. So that's why it's titled Warm Soul Rain, because that's what it was. It was warm, it touched my soul, and it was raining. Simple.
Okay, I want you to pick up your book. I want you to do two things for me because I'm finna show y'all how creative she is. Y'all heard that look, y'all heard the title said Warm Soul Rain, right? Pick up your book.
Yeah.
Pick up your book. Let's see the book title. Let's see the book cover first. Okay, look at this cover. To Climb and Crown the Walls. It's the title of her book. She designed, this is how creative this girl is. She created her, I do all the designs for the book covers. She told me she's doing her own book cover. She sent it to me, baby. I said, okay, let's get it. This has been her relationship. It happened
just like that. So I was like, no, I got it already. No, I don't want you to. I got it.
Exactly. So keep your book. Keep your book, baby. Go to your chapter titles. Just go to your chapter in the table of contents. I want you to read chapter 1 through 9. Just read your chapter titles. Y'all listen to these chapter titles now.
All right. Chapter 1, Spoken Insight. Chapter 2, Order. Chapter 3, Look Who's Talking. Chapter 4, Life's a Trip. Chapter 5, Turning Back. Chapter 6, Warm Soul Rain. Chapter 7, Underlow. Chapter 8, The Pushback. Chapter 9, A Left on Grace. Best chapter.
That's her best chapter. She loves it. Guys, it's nothing like you. I'm telling you, who does this? That's her brain, her creativity, her chapter titles, how she just yummy, that warm soul rain with the music, her dad, the warm little Gucci. I just love all of you, girl. Okay, you said order. Let's talk about that chapter 2, order. You will be kept in order, suggests a sense of control or structure. Can you elaborate on the concept of order in that chapter in your book? and how it shapes events and relationships within the story?
Yes, absolutely, because it goes back to your decisions don't matter. There is no right way.
Okay, one
There
moment.
is a
One moment, Catrice. When y'all, if you come into Zoom, everybody please press mute so it won't be no background noise. Thank you. We got our support in Zoom, y'all, in the background. So when you come in,
I
press
see
mute
it.
for me.
So what happened was, well, not what happened, but with the title order, it was titled order, and it pretty much goes back to exactly what it says. You will be kept in order. So it doesn't matter if you do the right thing. It doesn't matter if you do the wrong thing. It's still going to come back to the order in which God has in place for you. So do the wrong thing all you want. It's just going to take you longer to get back in order. Understand what it is you're supposed to be doing. You understand what it is you're supposed to be doing. If you have that gift, if you have that discernment, if you have that respect enough for yourself and for what God's given you as far as the signs and the signals, you'll be kept in order. If you don't do what God's telling you to do, he's still going to keep you in order. Well, I don't want to say he. God's still going to keep you in order. So you will be kept in order is pretty much letting you know that it doesn't matter what choices or decisions you make. You don't have the last say. You are not in control. And like Aaliyah said, I love you, Lily. Let me just say that right now. I love you. And like Aaliyah said, you don't even belong to you. So best believe you will be kept in order. The same way that you will tell a child to sit down when they acting up, the same way that you would tell a dog to calm down when they start barking, is the same way that God will tell you to respect what's going on around you when you're not doing that. And it's not going to be sit down, be quiet. If you ain't listening, it's coming at you in a totally different way. And even when you are listening, if you are surrounding yourself with those that are out of order, he's going to put you back in order or keep you in order to the point where they're no longer going to be a part of your order. So you can try to go with the crowds and go with the flow and adapt to whatever's going on in the world. It's never going to work. And sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, sometimes it's recognized, sometimes it's not. But you will be kept in order is a promise that I can give to all of you with confidence, not nerve confidentious that I created earlier, but with confidence that you will be kept in order. And that's a promise. And that's a promise from me because it's been spoken to me several times on different occasions from God. You know, I'll be that vessel. I don't have a problem with saying that out loud. You will be kept in order because even if you try not to be, you ain't got no choice. That's not your decision to make because you don't belong to you and you don't have the right to judge anyone and you don't have the right to judge yourself. You're not in control. You better accept the control that you're under and do what you're supposed to do to live the best way you possibly can as far as being your best self.
What? Girl, that's it. I need everybody to clap on that. Like I need some claps. Because baby God already know what you was about to do before you did it. And you cannot change God's plan, baby. You cannot change God's plan for your life. Girl, God will keep you in order. But let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you right this. I'm gonna throw a little wrench in there. Whomever you is serving will keep you in order. Are you serving the kingdom of light or the kingdom of darkness? You submitted to something. So whatever you submitted to, baby, the kingdom of light or the kingdom of darkness is going to keep you in order because that's what's ordering your steps, because that's what's ordering your heart, and whatever you put in your heart and your soul, which is your mind, baby, got to come out. So that's what's going to keep you in order.
And you're so right.
Be in the right order?
Like, seriously, I was talking to a friend a couple of days ago and I was telling her, I was like, it doesn't matter what you believe in. You know, you could believe in the TV as far as helping you stay on track with whatever you got going on. You could believe in your eyeglasses. You can believe in the table in front of you. You could believe in the liquor in your cup. You could believe in whatever you smoke. You could believe in whatever you're doing. All you want. Whatever you believe in is what's going to keep you in order. If you believe in the wrong thing, it's still going to keep you in order. But guess what? It's still God's order. As far as you got to experience that, you got to go through that, you got to do whatever it is you're doing with those things, but understand that God is the creator of those things as well. So you think that they're in control. They're never in control. You're never in control.
And let God order your steps. Let me say something. Let me go right here.
And listen.
Intertwined
And
it's
listen, please
intertwined
listen.
with, huh?
I said, and people need to listen because they
Oh,
hear it.
yes,
They hear it.
yes.
You
But
hear
you
it.
have to want to hear by having and asking God for discernment and a keen spirit. But you have to continue to feed your spirit more than you feed your flesh in order to hear your spiritual ears and things like that. Let me ask you, because it's intertwined with the order and left on grace. In chapter 5, you said no turning back. It hints at a point of no return or a pivotal moment. Could you provide some insights into this chapter and how it propels the narrative forward?
Chapter 5 with no turning back is more so about, I was about to pull a book out. Let me put that down because it ain't about the book right now. It's about the book, but I can speak on this without having to go back to it, and I need to do that. So no turning back is relating to, you know better, do better. If you know what mistakes you've made, or you have seen certain mistakes that have been made by others, personally, even if you're just watching from across the street, whether it's your family member, whether it's your neighbor, whether it's on the freaking news, it doesn't matter. If you've seen it and you know what the outcome is or can be, and you've experienced it and you know what the outcome is and can be, don't freaking do it. Don't go back. If you've done it, don't go back. There is no turning back. Because what happens when you turn back? The same dumb bleep, you know? Don't do that. That's just dumb. So that's what no turning back is about. Like making the same mistakes over and over again and being blessed with discernment and not applying it to your life, especially when you have been spoken to through people. Even though it seems like, okay, they're saying God said this, God said that, God wants you to do this, God wants you to do that. Freaking do it. Do it. If it doesn't work out, that's fine. But it's better to know that you tried to do the right thing and it didn't work out and you can learn from that than to not try to do the right thing at all.
But what do you tell a person that did go back? Me, I want to tell you this. This is how, okay, because we're gonna continue, because sometimes we're in this loop, we're in this cycle. But when you know that you're trying to put one feet in front of the other and you do fall back, give yourself grace. But you don't just stay there and lie there. Because when we do that, that's where the nonsense come in. It's the laying there. It's not the going back per se. Because I tell God, this is my prayer to God. Lord, when I do fall, because I am, when I do, now get me back up quicker than I did before. Because used to it take me a year. Used to it take me 5 years to heal. Used to it take me, baby, it's going to take me a day. Give me a day of some tears, baby. I'm good, Lord. I'm good.
Yeah.
Ain't going to take me 2 months no more. Ain't nobody got time for that.
And that's
I tell the devil, you better find somebody else to do it.
Exactly. Just like you did earlier when they was trying to not let us have this call at 8 o'clock. But I think it's even in that book or in that chapter, as far as inaction, as far as not doing anything, is the same thing as doing something, because your inaction is still an action, period. So I'm guilty of that. I am guilty of that for most of my life. You know what I'm saying? As far as just because you're not doing anything doesn't mean that it's okay, because you're still doing something by not doing anything. Guess what? Because you're responsible for what's being done because you're not doing anything. And that's why as I got older, I'm just like, if I'm able and if I'm willing, and if I don't have any physical issues or mental issues as far as what's going to stop me, there is no way that anything or anybody can stop me. And a lot of people say you do too much, you're doing a lot. That's fine. I'm good. I'm not broken. I'm not broken. And I have been broken, but I'm not broken to the point where I can't do what I'm supposed to do as far as what my purposes are. My purposes have been given to me since I was a child. And I noticed that and I recognize that and I have to respect that, because as soon as I stop respecting that, that's when God's like, look, if you don't tighten up, I'm gonna make you tighten up. And I don't like that pain, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't like that pain. I don't like that struggle, because if you're being spoken to and you're not listening or practicing what you're preaching based off of what you know because it's been given to you by God or experiences, then that's a problem. That's a problem. And if that's a problem for you, no disrespect, no judgment, go talk to somebody. Go do something about it, because you know that it is. You're not in denial. You say that you're in denial, but you're not in denial. You know what it is, because 99% of the people that I come across, will say, I know, then do something about it. There is that percentage that isn't aware. And for that percentage that isn't aware, 9 times out of 10, somebody is helping them get to the point where they're able to recognize that. You know, it's not going to be to the point where, okay, this is a problem, we're not going to do anything about it. For those of you who know that something's going on, and for those of you that know you have issues, do something about it. It's important, because there are people that are out there that can't do anything about it because they really are not able to, and it affects everything. One person's downfall affects everybody else's downfall, or affects everybody, period, because we're one. So just do something about it so that you can help the next person, regardless of what you're going through. It can be the worst experience. It can be the worst thing ever going on in your life, as far as death, as far as loss, as far as grief, as far as hurt, pain, whatever it is. Fix it so that you can help someone else fix it, so that they can help someone else fix it. And then it multiplies, and then it just spreads like love is supposed to spread. Love yourself so that you can love
I
others.
love you. Like I
I
love
love
you
you
so
too.
much.
I love you too.
I want, since we're talking to them so beautifully, what do you hope your readers will take from your book when they pick it up?
Honestly, there's nothing specific that I want them to take from my book. I just want them to be able to feel like, as they read my book and as they're reading my book, that they are sitting on a couch with me having a one-on-one conversation. And as we get through the book, okay, I take that back. As we get through the conversation, as far as them reading the book, they are able to understand, respect, and realize that it's okay. Everything is okay. Even when it's not okay, it's okay. Because if you see the good, even in what is labeled as the bad, it's okay. No, it doesn't make any sense to all of us. And no, we don't like it. And yes, it hurts and it sucks. But guess what? It's okay. Because with those bad things, with all of these experiences, I'm not looking for pity. I don't want people to say, oh my gosh, you went through this and you went through that. And how could you go through this? And how could you go through that? No, I want them to be like, okay, this one person was able to get through this. I can too. This one person is not judgmental. I can be unjudgmental too. Not to so much I don't want it to be a pity book. I want it to be oh my gosh, this is possible book, because it is possible. I'm living proof that it's possible. I have bad days all the time. I had a bad day today. Can you tell? You're not supposed to, because getting over that wall and becoming a part of that wall that tries to stop you is possible, because I'm here and you're here, Tammy. And Aunt Sharon's here, and Mommy's here, and Naima's here, and Aunt Mickey's here, and Aunt Deborah's here, and BDWJ is here. So the whole thing is, we've all had different things that we've experienced. We all had different things that we went through, and it was not okay, or uncomfortable. Regardless, not okay. Even though those things were not okay, it's all going to be okay. And I promise you that. And you know, I don't say I promise you that unless I can guarantee that it's a promise, because it's not coming from me. As far as this being that you see, it is coming from Catrice, the vessel. It's coming from Tree, because it's given to me from God. And God said, I can only say I promise to people when it's coming from him. And I promise you that it's all going to be okay.
Oh, that is so beautiful. I knew something had to come out the story. I mean, it's so beautiful. How can nothing come out of something so beautiful? Girl, you got to be kidding me.
There's beauty in it all. There's beauty in it all.
Okay, can you tell us about your future writing project, or any ideas you have for your next book?
Oh my cookie stars. Yeah, so right now there is actually 3 on a table. I have started writing 2 more books. One is My Mac and Cheese Was Made with Love, and that's a children's book. And that's pretty much going to be so colorful and so full of pictures. It's going to be beautiful. I'm really, really excited about that one, because it's going to have the numbers and the colors and just insects and animals, everything that I love. You know, I'm a preschool teacher as well, so I have to make that a part of what I do. So the next book is called The Cold Era through Maytober of 2021. And that's going to be probably in the next couple of years, because that's going to go along with a lot of art, as far as all of the things that were felt and experienced through the time of me realizing that me and my husband were about to get a divorce, you know, that was something deep that I don't think anybody could ever understand as far as that feeling in itself, from me personally, because it's impossible. But that's the second one. And then the third one, which will probably come out before the first two, is how to effectively communicate with children. And prior to this book coming out, I plan on having a seminar, because we want a lot of personal perspective, aside from the personal perspective and experience that I have from the parents that I've had over the last 25 years and family members. I really want to tap into the mind of a doctor, the mind of a psychiatrist, the mind of a teacher, the mind of a preacher, the mind of parents, aunts, uncles. I need a panel. So if you're down for it, DM me, because it's going to be big. And God is moving me to do this in October. So y'all need to move fast, because I'm not playing. That's going to be awesome. So that book is probably going to be the next book, but I do have 3 that I've started already. But the effectively communicating with children is the most important to me right now, because it just really is, you know, as far as things that I've experienced with my children, things that I've experienced growing up, things that I see other children dealing with. And it's 2023, and after COVID, things have changed for children so much. And I really think that it's important in this day and age with these devices and how poisonous they are and how they're killing our babies, you know, to get in tap with how to talk to them and help them understand and realize that we are here for them, and not just telling them that we're here for them, but sharing ideas and ways in which we can communicate to them to help them prolong their life mentally, spiritually, and physically.
That is so beautiful. Okay, before we close out, who is this that said that has SES or whatever that is? Can you unmute for me, please?
Oh, that's not sharing.
Unsharing, SES. Can you unmute for me, please? Okay. When I tell you to unmute, I want you to say something in 2 minutes to Catrice. Anything you want to say to her.
I just gonna put you on the spot like that.
Well, they came in the room, baby. They came up in here.
On the spot before. Tracy, I continue and will always be proud of you, the woman you are, the woman that you become, and the woman that you're yet to be. Keep
Thanks,
it up.
Aunt Sharon. Thank you. Love you.
You too.
Did y'all see what Aunt Sharon did? Everybody do that, please.
She don't want to do it. I'm gonna honestly tell you, Tammy, you picked the right one to go first, because she just put them all in.
Right? That's shit discernment. That's that discernment again. Okay, Naima, you're up. I want you to say something within less than 2 minutes, 2 minutes or less to Catrice.
Naima fell asleep.
No, Naima didn't. Who is this? Okay, we're gonna go with Mama Catherine.
No, I didn't.
Okay,
There go
I
Naima.
had my earpiece in.
Wait a minute, Mama Catherine.
No.
Mama
'Cause
Catherine always on
I
time.
want Mama to wrap it up. So, Mom, can you mute for me, please? Naima, 2 minutes or less. I'm gonna let Mom go last because I want her to talk to her daughter. Go, Naima.
Yeah, and I can actually speak more tomorrow. I got the book in the mail today, but Catrice and I were really, really afraid that the book was not going to come on time for our authors conference. So I'm like, when I tell you that everything that could go wrong was going wrong. So I actually have been reading, you know, bits and pages as she's been talking through the book. So I'm actually going to stay up so that I can read the book tonight and, you know, be fully engaged for our discussion tomorrow.
Thanks, Naima.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
Can you tell her you love her so? Dang.
She already did.
Oh,
You
I
know
did,
it.
and she my copy of her copy of my book should be did you get it yet?
I did.
Are,
Naima, I honestly did.
are you
When
home?
I got here from Jacksonville at 7 o'clock. I had to take the kids to the dentist
Okay, no
appointment when we got back. I'm gonna check downstairs. I'm gonna check, because it should be
Okay,
here.
so
I'm
yeah,
checking
girl,
downstairs. I'll text you in the morning.
Yeah,
We're
you
gonna
should
talk
have it
tomorrow.
too.
Girl,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk tomorrow. Yeah.
Miss Deborah, can you unmute for me, please? And say something beautiful to Catrice, whatever you want to say to her within 2 minutes or less.
Tracy, I'm extremely proud of you. You're such a sweetheart. You've always been. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Kunta.
Love you.
Love
Love
you too.
I I just love these people. Miss Deborah, girl, you got some great people around you because I can tell because you're great. You're beautiful. I mean, I love you. Oh, can y'all come
They
around
are.
more
They're
often?
great.
Are y'all coming to the book club tomorrow? Ooh,
They live in Jersey, but yeah, I'll send them the link for the book club.
who is Mickey? Mickey? Oh, Mickey, you
That's
so
my
fine.
youngest
You
aunt.
so fine. You so fine. Okay, Mickey, unmute for me.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Tracy,
Huh?
I love your
Hey, my
soul
I love
and I
you.
love you
I love you
and
too.
you are original and keep it up. And that's just it. Love you tons.
Love you too, Maite. Thank you.
That was so sweet. And BDW, can you unmute for me? We know the assignment.
Hey everybody, I'm Brenda and Uncle Benny live from the Garden
Oh
State
my
Parkway.
gosh. Hey, Uncle Benny. I didn't know.
Hey,
Hi, you guys. I didn't know that was you.
girl.
Hi.
Hi. Yay.
So cool.
It is. I am so proud of you. Girl,
Guys.
you do. And you keep being you. I mean, just be you, Tree. Just be you.
Yes, ma'am.
Stay
I will.
real. Stay real. Stay real. Stay real.
And
Oh,
so
go ahead,
I'm a little that 2 minutes is just
Oh, yeah,
that's just a
Y'all
counter.
got 2 minutes apart. You get 2 minutes, Uncle Benny. You get 2 minutes. We got 4 minutes together. Bam!
We married, but our 2 minutes are separate. I'm on my 44 cents. So Tracy's always been, even when she was younger, just kind of. I always looked at her as very thoughtful. She always looked like nothing was taken for granted. Nothing just was. She was always thinking about. Even when I was watching her cheer when she was in high school, like there was always purpose in everything she did. And then when we became parents, and I remember she sent that the gift. My son likes drums, and she sent a little bag she made with the drum on it. And then it's so funny. He was just a toddler then, and now last fall he declared himself or identified himself as a drummer.
Oh, awesome.
And so so now when I heard about the author part of her season in her life, it's now all those thoughts are now documented for all of us to enjoy and to see what God has put into her. And this is a fun season. And then when she became a wife and a parent, and so I've just enjoyed seeing the growth, and just keep letting God lead you. And I'm glad to see that you're not distracted by the things going on in the world, because that's what the enemy does.
Absolutely.
And keep that big hat, where I can see it, so next time I won't run past it on the beach. Thank you so much.
Oh, my
Thank you.
God.
I sure will.
That was so cute. Girl, I think, Patrice, I told you, I said, what I tell you today? I said, this is going to be different. What did I tell you?
Mhm.
Usually we go to when I used to do these shows, we go on Facebook Live, and we tried it since 8 o'clock. We go on Facebook Live so people can just come in and just do the comments or whatever, and we talk through the comments. But God said, no, I told you this was going to be different.
You're right, because it took us an hour and 26 minutes to get on here. An hour and 26 minutes.
God said different.
We need to play that in the lottery tomorrow. 1, 2, 6, and it equals 9, Tammy.
All right, mommy,
I love
it's
the number
5
9.
minutes or less. Mommy, it's 5 minutes or less. Come on, mom.
All right, mommy.
It's my turn.
Yes.
Okay, well, just to start it off, I was thinking I have a little story to tell. And the story is the fact that I ran into complications at the last minute of giving birth to her. The last minute. I mean, I slept through labor. I thought I was I could go back to sleep. I'm okay. Last minute. So as I'm giving birth to her, we had a complication, not to get too personal, but she kind of got stuck up in my birth canal, and getting through and everything. When she came out, the thing about the point I'm trying to get to is she wasn't crying. And all I remember, and I've told her this, is hearing them say, they were running all around and everything. All I remember them saying, "Come on, baby, cry." So my point is, she may not have been crying because she couldn't talk then when she first got out, but they gave her that little whack on the behind or whatever they had to do. And she's been going ever since. And the voice, that's what I'm saying. She had none, but she got one now. And I'm just very proud of her. I tell her all the time. I used to speak a lot. I used to write. She took over because I don't do it as much as I used to, but she's my child, so she's speaking for me. And I'm very proud of you, Catrice. You remember I said you wouldn't cry?
Yes, Mom. I remember. I remember not being able to cry. That's the crazy part. But I'm proud of you too, Mom. I love you.
Yeah, love you too.
That is girl, all I heard was you got stuck up in the birth canal.
Well, it's the
God
truth.
said you had to give
That's
birth
right.
to this gift.
That's right.
And baby, she didn't cry, but she got
She
stuck because baby, she had a big old beautiful smile. That smile kept us stuck for just a little while.
And the voice too, that's why you be telling me, that's why you said before I start talking, Catrice, keep it at 2 minutes. I don't know if I could do that, Tim. I don't know if I keep anything at 2 minutes.
We ain't gonna let you talk there. I'm just playing. This is your show, baby. You can say whatever you want to say. Talk to your people. Talk to
Aaliyah.
your
I
audience.
didn't hear from Aaliyah.
Aaliyah's on.
She's on Facebook.
Oh,
She's on
okay.
Facebook.
Okay,
So it's only the people that
honestly,
can
while we're
just
still
input.
on, quickly before I say what I have to say as far as the family goes.
Yes,
because-
Aaliyah's still here. Octavia's still here. Octavia said, I love your positive and upbeat perspective with the energy that you share, recognizing where all your help comes from the Lord.
Thanks, Octavia. I really appreciate
And
it.
Aaliyah said, your chapter titles is powerful. I told them chapter titles was powerful. Here's what I told you to read. Mm-hmm.
Well,
But
to
go
God
ahead,
be glory.
Catrice. It's
You
your
know,
show,
I,
baby. Go ahead and talk to your people.
I don't want to. I say thank you because I need to, because you're giving me these compliments and these kind words, but at the same time, to God be the glory. Because if it wasn't for the gifts that were given to me upon me being birthed, none of this would be possible. You know, as far as I'm looking at who's on the screen right now, and it's more family than anything, and it's my blood family. And tomorrow it's going to be my digital family. So it's like it's kind of surreal as far as what's going on, because who is here tonight right now in this moment is supposed to be here. I'm not sure who's on Facebook because, you know, I'm not tech savvy. I'll find out later on. But to tap into Aaliyah, when I was in high school, I was hired to babysit Aaliyah and her little sister, okay, by the best person I met in that town at the time, Veronique Berry and Veronique Cordier, I believe. Berry, I'm not sure, but Vernie is what we called her. And Aaliyah was older than her sister, and I love these girls. I was like their high school nanny, which was weird because I was young, but at the same time I was their nanny, but it was cool because I loved them, you know, and we all became family. Like they were and are a part of my family, and I was a part of theirs. And I remember when Aaliyah was in high school, she had asked me one day, she was like, I was like, something about Malcolm X. She was like, who's Malcolm X? And I was like, you guys don't know who Malcolm X is? As far as realizing that they're not teaching everything in schools the way they used to. And this was 20-something years ago. Aaliyah Berry is an advocate for people. And she has become one of the best people that I have ever been a part of helping raise, that I know, you know, honestly, aside from my family, she was an outsider that I didn't know. And when I see her post, I'm more proud of her than I am of myself, because she's doing everything that I knew that she could do, but never expected that she would do. And I watched her transform and learn all these things. And at the same time, all those years ago, she said to me, who's Malcolm X? She could probably tell me more about Malcolm X right now than I could tell her. And I love you, Lily. You're awesome. I love your mom, your sister. Y'all are awesome. And I'll never forget y'all as far as what you've done for me and how long you guys have been there for me. Even now, you know, I haven't watched them since they were in high school, and now she got big things going on, you know? So I appreciate you being on the call or the Zoom or Facebook, whichever you were able to attach to, because you rock and you always will. And I'm just glad that you're here to support me as well as the family, you know, because you are family. And that's it. Love you. Tell your mom and sister I said hey too, and baby niece. But as far as right now and who I'm looking at in this call, as far as my family goes, you guys rock. You know, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be who I am. And even within the book, I'm not sure if all of you have read it, but even within the book, I speak on my family a lot in the book, not specifically and not in detail, but my family's always been a part of my life. I love my family. I'm not there with them. I'm not always there with them. And there are differences within every family, but I love my family because I know where I came from and I know what kind of respect I was brought up to have for people in general. So I appreciate y'all being here and supporting me and your kind words and just the love, that I've been given and shown throughout the years, regardless of what's been going on. And, you know, sticking by me, making sure that I stay strong and giving me different opportunities and open doors, regardless of what it was, I love y'all. Thanks.
And Uncle Benny, she actually speaks about her dancing in the book. Because Uncle Benny was talking about your cheerleading. Her cheerleading and her dancing is in the book.
Oh,
she
yeah.
talks about that. So
yeah.
I edited the book. Well, she edited it. She just told me to proofread it, child. She just was look, but she got unstuck, baby. She got unstuck. Do you hear me?
It was that serious. I was like, no, don't touch nothing. Don't touch nothing.
Girl,
just let it
I'm
be.
telling you. Every author is different, and I'm just so grateful to God that He assigned me to you, and that He assigned me to Naima, that He assigned me to Octavia, that He assigned me to all these beautiful authors. Oh my God, guys, He assigned me to an 11-year-old. He assigned me to a 12-year-old.
Yes.
Let me tell y'all something. This thing is real.
Awesome.
I'm telling you, and I love the fact that God said no, and He said yes to this platform right here. And that we did not do it. We did it unorthodox, not the same way we've been doing things. God said we're going to do things differently. I think I'm going to do it just like this because we need our support, our people around us to show us that love and to say, you know what, I just because I'm in New Jersey, just because I'm in Illinois, just because I'm in Florida, baby, I still got you. I'm still right here. I'm just a good technology away. I love all of this. And anything else you want to say? Because I'm going to wrap it up. Again, this is the Authors Roundtable. If y'all know what's going on, every Friday night, we're supposed to be here at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7 p.m. Central. We had a lot of technical difficulties because God said otherwise. Okay, but that's the regular time.
And
Authors Roundtable.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do the roundtable on Zoom moving forward, right? The show
every Friday. We're gonna come on Zoom.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
For the author, they can bring their families in or whoever they want to come in to. Yeah, I think God changes things, honey. But this is me, the host, Tammy Marie, the book whisperer. They call me. Y'all know what a book whisperer is? Like the dog whisperer. No, I'm not a dog. Go look it up.
What?
Y'all never seen that show, The Dog Whisperer?
Yes, but nobody would have said you were a dog, Tammy. You're so shy.
Girl, that was a joke. You know how
it was funny. I laughed. It was funny.
This is Catrice also, she won the book club, so we'll be on Zoom tomorrow if you want to come in and have discussions. We're going to have the theme topic is going to be relationships and marriage. Coming from that's going to be our topic tomorrow at noon, coming into Zoom. The title of her book is To Climb and Crown the Walls. If you want to purchase a book, you can actually contact her, or you can click the link. Is there a link? We'll put the link in the comments because I did it on Facebook, but now we're on a different platform now. But you can contact her. Please join. If any authors are out there, you can come join our book club, the Digital Legacy Library, because it's all about legacy and leaving yours. What story are you leaving to your? What story are you leaving behind? Who are you leaving behind? What are people gonna say about you? Your memories is in the story. Your memories. That's why people take pictures. That's why we go on vacation. But let them know you from you. Not from other people, because we know how people gather around you on the deathbed or something like that, and they'll tell the stories about that person, this and that. No, you tell your own story.
Yeah.
So when you tell your own story, so they can pick it up and look at it from your perspective, how you saw yourself. What you want to say, Latrice?
I mean, as far as myself goes, I'm not sure about everybody else in their book, but for me, that's why it was important for it to be so personable and so warm. Like I really want everybody that reads it, and so far everybody's that read it that I've spoken to has told me that it felt like they were sitting right next to me and I was speaking to them, as far as making sure that I asked those questions in between those chapters and try to tap into what's going on in your mind when I say certain things, because I know it can be confusing. At the same time, know that ask those questions, and I don't have to necessarily be there to answer them, because I'm asking those questions because I know that those are the questions that God is asking you at the same time. So for the most part, for me, as far as the legacy that I want to leave, is to always have been personable, is to always been accountable for the things that I've done and the things that I haven't done, and to be dependable when it comes to anything that you would want me to be dependable on. I'm not going to say everything, but anything that you would want me to be dependable on, that God sees fit for me to be dependable on, not just because you want it, but God has to sign off on it as well. And just know that there are people out there that are willing to listen to you, understand you, be willing to help you honestly and truthfully with no judgment. At the same time, you have to be willing to do those things as well. I mean, I still have a lot of work to do personally. I'm not perfect. At the same time, I know what I know based on what I know, and not just off of assumption. I'm not going to speak on anything based off of assumption. I'm just going to speak on based off of what I know and where I know that God can lead you to, or in the ways in which God can help you.
Can I do surgery on your brain?
No. You ain't getting in there? No.
Spiritual surgery, girl. Spiritual surgery. That is so beautiful. Okay, can you put your book up as we close out? This is Catrice's book. You can go to Amazon.com to climb and crown the walls. You can get on Amazon.com. And if you have already purchased a book, please, guys, go to Amazon.com and do those reviews. Those reviews are very important. Do the 5 stars.
I don't even know that I have reviews.
Yeah, you have all 5 stars reviews right now. Do the reviews, do 5 stars. If you're gonna do 4, just don't even do the review. Just do 5.
And if you guys, I'm sorry, Tammy, if you guys recommend the book or share the book, the link any way possible, it doesn't matter. But know that half of the proceeds go to the kids' trust. You know, that's for their future as well. I'm not just doing this for me, I'm doing it for them as well. And I don't care if somebody's buying the book 100 years from now. I don't care if it's going to my great grandchildren. This is a legacy that has begun. And if you have to share it that way, go for it, because I'm going to share it that way, because college is not cheap and only years is coming. So definitely participate in that way if you want to, because oh my gosh. But yeah, half of the proceeds on any sale goes to the kids in their own trust and account. So if that helps as far as the spread of it, go for it.
That is so sweet. See how this is what I'm saying? Girl, put the book up. I can't take no more of this right now. I'm about to get diabetes from I'm about to get diabetes from sweetness. Girl, put the book up. I'm about to be pre-diabetic. Girl, no. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get up out of here again. Please join us in regular time on Facebook Live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. every Friday night Central Standard Time at the Authors Roundtable with me, your host, Tammy Marie, the Book Whisperer, to sit down with authors to do interviews, coming into their story, then them telling their story, because telling your story, guys, is healing. So please, if you are an aspiring author, you can email me, inbox me, whatever you need to do to get, I'll put it in the comments or whatever. And if anybody on this platform right here want to come to the book club tomorrow to see this another dynamic of the environment and what we do, is another way to go. I do so much stuff to give back because God has given me so much back. I don't charge for none of this. Okay, I don't charge for none of this. Even I told my people that's been rocking with me, Naima have been rocking with me since day one. When I become a billionaire, they still can text me. I ain't say call me, text me first, please, when I come a billionaire. I'm still going to let me borrow $1. Text me, say, girl, you want to just text me, say, girl, you want to meet? Listen, text me and say, girl, you want to meet? I'll be like, nah, not right now. Then I'm gonna call you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still. Naima knows she my gal. I'm the Oprah, so she's my little gal. She started with me from day one. She was my first author that I published. I met this young lady in passing, and I stopped. I knew she had all this in her, and it's more to come. I'm excited. And we're gonna get up out of here. Again, I'm an author consultant. And I'm writing, this is my book. But it ain't about me.
How you gonna
Anyway,
that book up 5 million times? Okay, I'm gonna shut up. I'm on my
girl,
own
it ain't
self
about me.
business.
Anyway, I love you guys. Good night. I hope y'all come to the book club tomorrow because it's gonna be amazing. It's
Yeah,
gonna
you
be,
guys, if
Good
you want the
night,
link,
everybody.
DM me or
baby,
text me. I'll post
it's
it.
gonna be amazing. I'm telling
And
you.
good
That
night,
it,
everybody.
good
Naima, guess
night.
what? You got your
What?
book, Naima.